Okay, happy second day of spring. And look who's back. Let's talk about this. It's a chopped up video, so I can't really do much to explain what happened, just because some of the footage I thought I was recording and it wasn't, and to be honest with you, it was very frustrating couple of days. But regardless, I was coming back and forth, just doing some runs from the truck down at the road, and coming back up here. There was quite a bit of snow, but it was all powder, and I had it in 4-wheel drive, obviously. And I was just coming up the trail. It wasn't even like I was really pushing the machine all that hard, and I lost all 4-wheel drive. So I ripped the whole underbelly off, all the cowling and protective plastics, and kind of went from the front of the machine back to kind of figure out what was going on with the 4-wheel drive. Everything was good as I worked myself back, and when I got to the engine, there was a lot of play in where the drive shaft goes to the transfer case and the 4-wheel drive system. So excuse me if I don't have the terminology correct, but it turns out that the main drive shaft, believe it or not, goes through the bottom of the engine. So you can kind of see it. Maybe you can see it. No, maybe not. Yeah. So where that drive shaft goes, it goes through actually the bottom of the engine, through the engine, underneath the pistons, basically through the crank, and then into the transmission. So there's another drive shaft in there. Maybe I'll try and find a diagram so you can see, but essentially it was that drive shaft that broke in half, and it just basically sheared, like busted right in half, so you couldn't hear any grinding or anything like that. It wasn't like if you blew a CV joint or a U joint or something like that where you can hear some kind of crunching and grinding. There was nothing. But it was basically the worst case scenario for this machine, because you actually have to pull the whole engine out, crack the engine in half to replace that drive shaft. So it was definitely beyond my scope of repair expertise. So I brought it down to Bennett Power Sports in Whitby, and they worked with Canam because I'm out of warranty on this. They worked with Canam and kind of put a case together for me. What is that? Oh, a little. Bennett Power Sports worked with Canam, put a case together, said this is kind of what's happened, and it turns out that approximately a $4,500 repair, Canam paid for all the parts, and I just had to pay for the labor. So that took the bill down to around $2,300 after fluids and labor and taxes and everything like that. So I got a oil change out of it, and had to obviously replace some antifreeze and such like that. But anyway, regardless, it's still not optimal. I'd rather not spend $2,300 on something that shouldn't break. And that's kind of the case that we went with. Like this, there are so many different fault points that should have happened. There's so many things that should have broke before the drive shaft in the engine. I'm obviously not a engineer by any way, shape, or form, but I just find it incredibly crazy that you would stick a drive shaft through the bottom of an engine. It just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But engine placement and transmission placement probably being the reason why. Obviously it's someone's made the decision to do that, and there's obvious reasons for it. And me just being a dummy, I think it's ridiculously stupid. But regardless, got the machine back now. It is extremely hard to do anything. I found out anything up here without these machines. All of them, like the skid steer, the excavator, the side-by-side. I need to have the side-by-side so I can bring fuel up here. I tried coming up with just a sled. I got maybe about 300 or 400 yards or meters into the trail, hauling this toboggan sled, and realized I am not in shape, and it was extremely hard. So the skid steer, it plows okay, but it doesn't plow great because it slides all over the place. You can't get any traction. So you just spend so much time fighting all of the elements up here just to get up here to be able to do something. So past couple of weeks I've been I've been away the past couple of weeks, but prior to that it was extremely frustrating. And I'm happy to have this machine back. I'm happy that Canam helped out with that, and I'm very happy that Bennett Power Sports kind of stuck up for me, and basically they just worked with me, and otherwise I would be out of a machine here for quite a bit longer, because $4,500 to come up with in the middle of winter is pretty tough.